sensor networks target tracking, wildlife monitoring, healthcare, industrial applications, smart home, smart city, agriculture. Okay, so if you see here, so that is the thing which we recap about the wireless sensor networks, what actually wireless sensor networks. Okay, so guys, when you wrote about the wireless sensor networks, what are the things you wrote? I think you can understand. Okay, so I discussed more about the wireless sensor networks. What I discussed, everything became waste. What you wrote, it became highlighted in the paper. Okay, so please guys, so it everything, it has some uh, diagram. Okay, some simple diagram it has. Like, I don't want you to draw big diagrams, just simple diagram, anything which you remember those diagrams. If you draw, the answer will be more effective, I think so. Okay, so see, if you are mentioning these things like this, we can think that okay, you have more knowledge on this particular thing, right? So that is how you have to present your answers. Okay, so we talk about cloud computing. Here in this cloud computing, the architecture which provides on-demand computing resources. On-demand computing resource means you want resources now, so it provides on-demand computing resources. The advantages of this cloud computing: elasticity, scale up, scale down. Like, you want to increase the storage or you want to decrease the storage, it provides you the elasticity. And pay per use, how much you are using, so that for that you have to pay. And self-service uses, resources can be accessed by self. Okay, next thing, cloud computing services. If you see the cloud computing services, these services you can access through cloud. Clients can access the services. How they can access the services? Through apps or through web browser or terminal. Okay, so what are the services actually these cloud providers are providing? So these are the services like software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. Okay, so this is a platform as a service. I told you, example is a Microsoft Office 365. So this is already readily available software which we are using. So that is software as a service. Okay, complete software they are giving to you. So next thing, so a third party provides a host application over internet. This is the Microsoft Office. This is the which is developed by Microsoft, that is given by the third party providers to a host application. This is a host application over the internet. Okay, so next, platform as a service provides a platform to develop and run applications. Example, Windows, Azure. Okay, next thing, infrastructure as a service provides the computing resources like storage space. Virtualization concept. I told you about this virtualization. One computer host appears. Suppose my computer, it appears as many computers. This is the virtualization. Okay, this is not going to become more computers, it's just going to become virtually more computers. As like your hard disk, you are partitioning, right? So into C drive, D drive, like that. So my machine is going to partition like virtual machine 1, virtual machine 2, virtual machine 3, likewise. Okay, so the benefits of this virtualization: sharing of resources. Okay, sharing of resources, like you shared your hard disk by partitioning, right? C drive, D drive, E drive. And next, encapsulation. A complete computing environment will be available for all the partitions. And next, independence, runs independently of underlying hardware. Everything runs independently. Okay, portability, everything runs in the sense, here we are talking about virtual machines. Okay, portability, VM migration. Like, portability means virtual machine, you can migrate from one system to other machine. That particular thing you can migrate. Okay, next thing, limitations of wireless sensor networks. Okay, so procurement, price, right vendor, types of sensor integrated with it. And so these are the procurement. One is the limitation. And coming to the deployment, right way of deployment is needed and right place of deployment. And the maintenance of those things, like post deployment maintenance and battery lifetime of these things like sensors and all. So change of, so you see, tomorrow it may possible, like today we are using these sensors in the agriculture, and tomorrow we can use completely, it can become smart homes. Okay, change in sensor type, deployment area, topology, design, and many more. Okay, so sensor cloud, we see just now, we recap everything like about wireless sensor networks and cloud computing, right? So we see about the sensor cloud. Okay, so sensor cloud, not only the mere integration of, before in the starting also I told you, this is not only the integration of cloud computing and sensor networks, but sensor cloud is more than that. Okay, the concept of virtualization of sensor nodes here. Okay, here the concept comes. So not only those things are there, we are adding the sensor networks with the cloud computing, but just don't write by the name sensor cloud. It is a combination of sensor networks and the cloud. It's not only that, it's a concept of virtualization of sensor node, and it's a concept of paper use. And one sensor node network or network appears as a many, and a stratum between sensor nodes and end users. Here what is happening, the main thing here, this one sensor node, you no need to install any, I told you, right, the resources and everything in the cloud, the resources are from the Google or Amazon or the Microsoft Azure people, but you are using by paying some amount. So the sensors and everything you no need to purchase here. If you are going with the sensor cloud, okay, you want to get some sensor data, you want to use that particular data, the sensors and everything will be installed by somebody else, and you want to get the information, some particular place, temperature you want, you can use it. Okay, that service is provided by different person, but you are paying some amount and you are using that service. Okay, I think you got an idea about this now. Okay, so we see the difference between the wireless sensor networks and the sensor cloud. Okay, so wireless sensor networks, what happens here, the sensor user, so from the sensors the data is going to be aggregated to the user. Okay, so dedicated to a single user, the data is dedicated to a single user. Here the single user can use, because the person who is deploying the sensors and everything, that person can use here in the wireless sensor networks, but that is not available to everyone. Okay, so but here in the sensor cloud, what is happening, multiple application users are there, means we all can use the service. These all things are going to be provided by different purpose, that person is going to provide these things. Okay, sensor cloud infrastructure, through sensor cloud infrastructure we are going to get the services. Okay, here multiple persons can access, and the service, multiple applications, the sensor cloud, the sensors and everything going to be installed by the different person, and the different person is going to be maintained. So just we are using that service. Okay, so that is what, and the differences between the differences with wireless sensor network. Okay, so here whatever the attribute you take, so ownership, deployment, redeployment, maintenance, overhead, usage, everything, those all things are going to be used by only one user, because that is maintained by the particular user. That project is one person's. Okay, but coming to this sensor cloud, the ownership which is owned by sensor owner, the deployment is going to be done by the sensor owner. Okay, so sensor cloud, but redeployment, these all things can be handled by the sensor cloud. SCSP in the sense sensor cloud service providers. Okay, the maintenance also going to be handled by the sensor cloud service providers. Okay, so there will be different people will be involved. Sensor owner will be there, sensor service or providers will be there. Okay, the usage, it will, these things going to be get by the end users. Okay, those are some differences. Actives in sensor cloud. Okay, who plays role in this? Okay, end users, sensor owner, and the sensor cloud providers. Okay, so end users, who enjoys the SaaS. Before we heard in the cloud computing, software as a service. Here sensors as a service. Okay, this SaaS in the sense sensors as a service through the applications as per the requirements. Okay, and next thing, sensor owner, he plays a role from the business perspective. They purchase physical sensor devices deployed over different geographical locations. So next thing, sensor cloud service provider. The sensor cloud service provider is a business actor. Okay, sensor service provider charges price from the end users as per their usage of sensor as a service. Okay, so those are the different actors which are involved in the sensor cloud. This is the architecture of sensor cloud. End users register themselves, select templates and register for applications, and sensor owners deploy the heterogeneous and homogeneous physical sensor nodes over the different geographical locations, and managerial roles placed by the SCSP. Okay, sensor cloud service provider. Okay, so these are the different sensors which you are seeing in the green color. So in the green color platform you are seeing, right? This is a geographical area if you think. Okay, so so here different sensors are placed. This the different sensors data is going to be stored in the cloud, and based on the user's requirement they can they can access the data through the web portal and the services which are provided by the service provider. Okay, so how much data they want and what is the data, based on their requirement the service provider will charge. Okay, so this is the thing about the cloud, sensor cloud. Okay, we see the two things like sensor cloud view. Okay, template specification. Here if you see this one, here two views we have here. Okay, I told you heterogeneous and homogeneous. I told you here, if you take this diagram, sensor cloud view in this. Okay, so here we have this is a template specification, user organization. The template and the sensor data are sent to the user organization. Here the template, here if you see through the browser interface what is happening, template and the sensed information is going to be sent to the user organization, and through the user, in this image we can see the real view of the sensor cloud. This is the real view of the sensor cloud. There are only few functionalities like dynamic scaling. Okay, so in this diagram, this is the second diagram I'm talking. Okay, in the first diagram I'm just talking about like we have a state of sensor owners, then we have through virtualization, pricing, caching, composition management is going to be handled here. Okay, so through the user organization the different applications can get the data feed here. So here if you take heterogeneous pool of physical sensors, it has a different things like dynamic on-demand physical sensor scheduling and energy management. Okay, so those all things here the template specification is going to be reached, and sensed data is also going to be reached the web portal. And next, interaction with physical, I mean here I'm talking about with the sensor cloud and with the heterogeneous pool of physical sensors, different sensors here with the same sensors. Okay, how it happens, those things we can see here. Okay, so we see the next thing. Just a minute here. I just want to check one thing here. So here, actually we are seeing here in this how the cloud is accessed through the web browser. Okay, how the cloud is accessed through the web browser interface. Okay, so this is how we are going to see. Okay, so next here we are seeing in this particular one, so the data from the different organization feeds to diverse different applications, different organization. Like here you can see the template and the sensed data. In this we are seeing, right, the template and the sensed data sent to the user organization. This is a user organization, to that the data has been sent. Okay, and this data from the user organization feeds to diverse applications. This thing can be feeds with the diverse applications, like different applications, enterprise applications, or different applications can be it feed. Okay, so there are only a few functionalities in this particular image, like dynamic scaling, on-demand physical sensor scheduling, energy management, quality of service applications, and data aggregation. Okay, so these are the things, and these are the things the data is fed to the different applications. Next thing we see about the workflow of sensor cloud. Okay, this is actually a sequence diagram we call. Okay, this is a sequence diagram. In sequence diagram of sensor cloud, here we can see the different actors and roles. Okay, user organization, sequence sensor, ML interpreter, virtual sensor manager, virtual sensor controller, and resource manager. Okay, so we can see different things. So initially from the user organization, operations request is sent to the sensor ML interpreter first. Okay, this creates the one instances of the sensor, then it's sent to manage the controller. Okay, then it will be sent to the manage the controller, and next what happens here, the response is received from the controller, then the response again forwarded further. Okay, the response again forwarded further. Okay, then XML template is decoded. So what happens here, the XML template, whatever it is here, so that XML template is here, that is going to be decoded. Like this, it continues the data that are stored in the resource pool. Here, like this, it is continuous, and the data is going to be stored to the sensor resource pool. Okay, and different functionalities such as sensor service, like service sensor, physical sensor definition, virtual sensor, and the client information metadata templates are used here. Okay, those all things are going to be used here. Okay, so next thing. So here, if you see the case study on target tracking, we consider a wireless sensor network based target tracking application in which a wireless sensor network owner refuses to share the sensed information with an external body even in exchange of money. Okay, so consequently, any organization that wishes to detect intrusion within a particular zone has to deploy its own wireless sensor network. This leads to a long-term investment due to costly network setup and maintenance overheads. However, in a sensor cloud environment, the same organization can use the same tracking application and still get the service without actually owning the wireless sensor networks. Okay, so this is how they can do the target tracking. Okay, so we see the management issues in this sensor cloud. It has a 3 management issues. Okay, one is the optimal composition of a virtual nodes, and next one is the data caching and optimal pricing. Okay, so if we talk about optimal, sorry, here we are talking about this optimal composition. Okay, optimal composition, we see this. So these are the different issues. So these issues we are going to talk now. So here we have optimal composition of virtual sensor and data caching and optimal pricing. So in this we are talking about optimal composition of virtual sensor. In this, what happens? Efficient virtualization of physical sensor nodes and optimal composition of virtual sensors. And next, consider same geographical region, COV1. Okay, and next, spanning across multiple regions, COV2. Okay, so those 2 things we are going to take here. Okay, so this is a thing like COV in the sense composition of virtual sensor. Okay, composition of virtual sensor is called COV1, composition of virtual sensor 1, composition of virtual sensor 2. Okay, so we are talking about why composition of virtual sensor we need actually. So to resource constraint sensor nodes and for dynamic change in sensor conditions and the composition of virtual sensors are in non-tradition. So those all things, for those things we can use this composition of virtual sensor. Composition of virtual sensor concept here, because always you want to deploy the sensors more. It is really very costly thing. Okay, so when you are virtualizing the sensors, okay, when you are virtualizing this particular sensor service, you are there with the in the coming to the cloud computing, the resources are there with the cloud providers, but you are using through the internet. Okay, you are not touching or you are not taking anything, you are not doing anything with that, right? But you are using. So likewise, without purchasing some sensors, you can use. So what the provider is doing is virtualizing. Okay, so we are talking about the composition of virtual sensors because we need to get the services. Okay, to get the services we need. Okay, so we talk about composition of virtual sensors 1. Okay, the formation of virtual sensors, the optimal formation of virtual sensors we are going to see here. This is the optimal formation of virtual sensors. This is the first format we are talking about, homogeneous sensor nodes within the same geographical boundary. In this, what happens, composition of virtual sensors. In this, what happens, how the owners are going to place in this, this is a geographical area in the green color you are seeing, and these are the different sensors are placed, and these different sensors are, virtualized. Okay, so this red color sensor, again here this is the virtual sensor for this, and there are different sensors are created. Okay, virtualized. Okay, for the or physical sensors. Okay, so these all things you can see different things are connected. Okay, different things are connected differently. Okay, so these all things are same, similar kind of sensors. Okay, so this is the one formation of virtual sensor. This is how they form. And next thing, in the formation 2, what happens, the formation of virtual sensor are going to be handled by the VSG, like virtual sensor group is going to handle this virtual sensors. Okay, so here in this, what happens, in the geographical area, heterogeneous, different sensors here, different sensors are going to be placed in the different geographical locations. Here only one geographical location, but here in different geographical locations, different physical sensors are going to be placed. Okay, so these things are going to be virtualized, and these things are going to be handled by the virtualized sensor group. Okay, so there are different types of formation in placing the sensors. Okay, so next thing, if you see, so this is the result. Okay, so this is the result of this one, like performance. So if you see this, okay, in terms of performance of CoV1 and CoV2, okay, what happens, the composition of virtual sensors in the homogeneous and heterogeneous, this is the homogeneous and this is the heterogeneous. Okay, so what happens if you look at the comparison performance with respect to the energy consumption? Okay, so the energy consumption basically steadily increases in each of these, and quite understandably that CoV2 basically in greater energy consumption compared to the CoV1. Okay, this is the green color one is the CoV1, the which you are seeing here, CoV2 is in the orange color. Okay, so the orange color one is increasing. Okay, so with respect to the energy consumption. Okay, so and in terms of lifetime, if you see here, in terms of lifetime, if you see, so this is the study of cumulative energy consumption, and B graph, it is a study of network lifetime. In terms of lifetime, the lifetime of CoV1 is more because of homogeneous sensors. Okay, in terms of the energy consumption, this CoV2 is increased, but here in terms of the lifetime, because here homogeneous things we are using here, similar sensors we are using, that is the reason the lifetime is more. So that is a result of using the two formats. Based on the requirements we can use. Okay, so next, dynamic and adaptive data catching mechanism. It introduces the internal and external catching mechanisms. Okay, ensures efficiency in resource utilization. Okay, and next thing, flexible with the varied data rate, the data rate of change of physical environment. Next, why catching in sensor cloud? Why we need this? Before you understood why actually we need the optimization of composition of virtual sensors. Okay, so now we are talking about catching in sensor cloud. Okay, so end users request for the sensed information, right? So we need the catching information from the sensors. Applications of physical sensor nodes and virtualization takes place here. Allocation of physical sensor nodes and virtualization takes place here, and physical sensor nodes continuously sense and transmit data to the sensor cloud. Why catching in sensor cloud? Practically in some cases, the change in environmental conditions are significantly slow, and due to the slow change in environment and the sensed data of physical sensors unaltered, in such a situation, unnecessary sensing causes energy consumption. Okay, because of changes in the environment. So that time, what happens? Changes in the energy consumptions happens. So now we talk. There are two mechanisms in the catching, data catching from the sensors. One is the external and other one is the internal. Internal catching, it handles a request from the end user and it takes a decision whether the data should be provided directly to the end user or it is required to recache the data from the external cache. Okay, so this handles the request from the end user, but external cache, after every certain interval, data are required to recache. Initially, a few data are used to be transmitted to the internal cache. Okay, these all things are going to be handled by different things. If we see the architecture of caching, so if you take existing architecture, what is happening actually? The sensors are there. Okay, the sensors are sending the data to the sensor cloud. Okay, So sensor cloud, and through the sensor cloud, the applications are going to be solved. Okay. So if you take cache enabled architecture, if you are following the cache enabled architecture, in this what is happening, so here we have internal cache with the sensor cloud and the external cache in the outside the cloud, and in between the sensors and the sensor cloud. Okay, so these are things are going to work here. Okay, what are the things these two things does? This is going to handle the request from the end user, internal cache, and the external cache. What happens, it what actually does, recache the information that is required. That things are going to be handled by the external cache. Okay, so we see the performance of this. Okay, the difference of traditional one. Okay, so here if you are talking about this analysis of energy efficiency. Okay, analysis of energy efficiency and analysis of network lifetime. If we talk about this one, you can see the consumption using caching is in the green color, and the consumption in the conventional it is in the blue color. Okay, we are seeing in the different things right here. Conventional is here, you can see here the conventional is decreased. If you are using this and network lifetime, if you are going with this conventional one, if you are using like without using caching mechanism, if you are using the conventional one, the lifetime of network is less compared to the using caching. Okay, if you are using the caching here the communication in terms of the energy efficiency, if you are going with the caching, the energy consumption is here, if you take here, the energy consumption is less and the lifetime is more. Okay, but when we are going with the conventional, here what is happening, the in this energy efficiency is more and the lifetime is also less. Okay, so next thing we see the pricing. Okay, in terms of here in the pricing, what happens here, existing schemes consider homogeneity of service, no schemes for sensor as a service here. Okay, so the proposed pricing scheme comprises of two components, pricing attribute to hardware and the pricing attribute to infrastructure. The main goal of this pricing scheme is to maximize the profit of sensor cloud service providers and maximizing the profit of sensor owner. Okay, and to provide the end users satisfaction. Okay, so here you can see sensor cloud we have. Okay, in this sensor cloud we have sensor cloud, right? So this sensor cloud here, the information is there. This information, that can be reached to the base station, and through the base station that is information is going to reach the sensor cloud. Okay, so here the pricing and the negotiations can take place, and the information from the sensor cloud can be accessed by the end users through the web portal. Okay, so this is how. Next, this pricing mechanism actually focuses on maximizing the profit made by the sensor cloud service providers and optimal pricing to the end users and end user satisfaction. So these all things it focuses. So this is the thing. So here, just I want to give you some brief overview on this. So this is a thing we were talking. This is the complete thing of integration of sensors and cloud computing and dumping the data. And what is happening, we are providing here the, as a sensors as a service here it is provided. Not only those things you should not think, that is not the exact thing. Sensors as a service we are getting here, that is a sensor cloud. Okay, so this is a wireless sensor network, and so this is a diagram if you see how actually wireless sensor networks looks like. Okay, so next cloud computing, the advantages and the service models, and we have seen virtualization concept. Why actually virtualization? Because virtualization is very important. Okay, so because why it is important, we have to virtualize the thing to get the things, somewhere the sensors are placed, okay, in the geographical location it is there, and I want to get the data and I don't know anything, I am not the owner of that sensor. Okay, so I want to get the data means, so the cloud provider, the particular owner of those things, and service provider of the cloud, sensor cloud, they have to virtualize that sensors. So then only we can get the resources through the internet. Okay, so that is the reason we are talking about the virtualization concept here. And sensor cloud, okay, it's a concept of virtualization of sensor node, and it's a paper use. And so this is the main thing in this, and this is a difference between the wireless sensor networks and the sensor cloud. Here virtualization concept is added, and here multiple users, here only single user. Okay, so actors in the sensor cloud as the end users, and the sensor owners, and the sensor cloud service providers. And this is the cloud architecture, sensor cloud architecture. These are the geographical location, different sensors are placed, and in the cloud what is happening, the virtualization concept, like we are virtualizing these things with the help of, here the sensor cloud service providers will be there, and through web portal the end users are going to get the services. Okay, and see here, and this is the template specification. Through browser interface, the users can access the data, and the applications also can get the data, like through the like the applications also can get the data, like I'm using the weather report. Okay, so how I'm getting the data feed? Through the user organization, okay, from the cloud. Okay, so next we have heterogeneous pool of physical resources, and it serves the different applications. Okay, so we see this is a workflow of the sensor cloud. Here different roles are there: user organization, sensor, and first the data is reaching to the sensor ML, and after that it is reaching to the virtual sensor manager, and through that it is reaching the virtual sensor controller, and from the controller it sends the response, and the response, that response, it is going to be reached in the XML template. It is decodes in the XML template, and it is going to reach the sensor resource pool. And here all the functionality it is having, the sensor resource pool, like physical server definition, virtual sensor group definition. So these all things will be there, and this is about the target tracking. And we have some management issues in the sensor cloud. Okay, so like optimal composition of virtual sensor nodes, and the data caching, and optimal pricing. These are the management issues we have. Okay, so some solutions we discussed. Okay, so we have geographical region, composition of virtual sensors 1, 2. So those things we have. So if we are using those approaches, we can reduce these things, like we can reduce the energy consumptions and the network lifetime. Okay, so and next to data catching mechanisms we can use. Okay, and next so for the problems we have some solutions, data catching solutions. Okay, so we have the solution like internal cache and external cache. By using these things we can improve the performance. And next we have dynamic pricing. Okay, existing schemes consider homogeneity of services, no schemes for sensor as a services. Okay, so by using this optimal pricing option, we can maximize the profit of SASP and maximize the profit of sensor owner and end user satisfaction as well. Okay, so these are the things. I hope you understood this topic. So please give me your attendance. I think we have again next class also. So in that class, I'm going to discuss about the connected vehicles. Okay, so driverless cars. Okay, driverless cars, that topic we are going to discuss. So for now, I just need your attendance. So please join the topic. Only one topic I will discuss, that is only just connected vehicles. Please join the class. I'll see how many people will join, just because I'll note down your numbers, right? I'll see how many people will join. Okay, so guys, for now, please give me your attendance. 550.
Present, ma'am.
55.
Present, ma'am.
501.
Present, ma'am.
503. 505.
Present, ma'am.
508.
Present, ma'am.
509.
Ma'am, she's present. Her mic is not working.
Okay, fine. But I'm calling your number in the sense I'm taking your attendance. You no need to worry about it. Okay. So 512, 520.
512 present, ma'am.
523.
Yes, ma'am.
528.
Present, ma'am.
540. 543,
Present, ma'am.
546,
Present,
54, 54,
Present, ma'am.
16,
Present, ma'am.
17,
Present, ma'am.
36,
Present, ma'am.
51,
Present, ma'am.
34,
Present, ma'am.
30, 39.
Ma'am, 30
Okay.
present.
Yeah, I got it. 39. Okay.
Ma'am, she's present, ma'am. Her mic is not working, ma'am.
Okay, fine. I got her attendance. Okay, next. 15, sorry, 19,
Present, ma'am.
42, 22,
Present, ma'am.
Ma'am,
45.
42 present, ma'am.
42 present. Okay, I got your attendance.